translation. Maitreya Muni was greatly attached to the Lord, to him, the Lord, and he was listening to him in a pleasing attitude, with his shoulder lowered, with a smile and a particular glance upon me. Having allowed me to rest, the Lord spoke as follows. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Although both Uddhava and Maitreya were great souls, the Lord's attention was more on Uddhava, because he was a spotless, pure devotee. A jnana bhakta, or one whose devotion is mixed with monistic viewpoint, is not a pure devotee. Although Maitreya was a devotee, his devotion was mixed. The Lord reciprocates with his devotees on the basis of transcendental love, and not on the basis of philosophical knowledge or fruitive activities. In the transcendental loving service of the Lord, there is no place for monistic knowledge or fruitive activities. The gopis in Vrindavan were neither highly learned scholars nor mystic yogis. They had spontaneous love for the Lord, and thus he became their heart and soul, and the gopis also became the heart and soul of the Lord. Lord Chaitanya approved of the relationship of the gopis with the Lord as supreme. Herein, the Lord's attitude towards Uddhava was more intimate than with Maitreya Muni. Om Jnanaslakaya Tasumina Tasmai Shri Guru Namaha. Okay. So from that purport, where's it now? 410, wasn't it? Yeah. From this purport, we can understand that Uddhava was more advanced than Maitreya Rishi. In the beginning, Uddhava, he was a jnana bhakta because he was a disciple of Brahaspati. But when Krishna sent Uddhava to Vrindavan with the letters for all the residents of Vrindavan, he got purified of that monistic knowledge. Krishna was in Dwarka. In his sleep, he was chanting the name Radhe, 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 Radhe. And his queens were said, "Who's this? Who's this Radhe? Who is this Radhe?" So then, because Krishna was feeling separation in Dwarka from Vrindavan, especially Radharani. So there's two reasons there's two reasons for these friendly pastimes. There's the external reason and the internal reason. The external reason is that Krishna sent with the letters. Our acharyas describe there was thousands of letters that Uddhava carried, but it wasn't written. It was spoken. And he spoke to every one of the the residents of Vrindavan. Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, all the individuals. And when he came eventually to Radharani, she was lying on a bed, and her bed was exploding due to her bodily her heat. The heat of separation was making her bed explode. And you can understand, this is the person, this is the personality that Krishna is talking about. So therefore, afterwards, he took a vow that he prayed that I be a blade of grass in Vrindavan, and that the lotus feet of Radharani and the gopis can walk over me. So, as it says here, the Lord reciprocates with his devotees on the basis of transcendental love. So, this is our goal. It's not learning philosophy, even though the philosophy is there, but the goal is to love Krishna. This is the goal. Love for Krishna, this is the goal. Philosophy is there, or, as I was hearing last night, tattva. So it's like loving, so this transcendental love is based on relationships between. Love is based on two parties. And so we have in our, as Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he writes in his book Jaiva Dharma, there are three fundamental tattvas we have to understand. Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. Sambandha means relationship between the bonded soul, conditioned soul, and Krishna. Abhideya means bhakti, or I've heard the other day, service related to that relationship. And the Abhideya, the Prayojana, is the supreme goal, the prime necessity. And later, in Jaiva Dharma, Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains a small section of Jaiva Dharma is called Dasmula Tattva, where he's explaining he explains it. There's Sambandha, the Abhideya and Prayojana in 10 tattvas. That's why. So the first one is the pranam, the pranams first. Then from second verse to 2 to 7 is just is speaking on Sambandha tattva. 8 and 9 is the Abhideya, and 10 is the Prayojana. So the loving relationship, so we know that we were hearing yesterday from Ms. Kinchana that Radharani was suffering in Vripalamba. Now this Vripalamba and this Sambhoga, which is union. So this Ripalamba, or separation, is necessary to fulfill the to fulfill the union. So the other day somebody sent me a little on my phone, a little one Purana. It's called the Radha Brahmananda Purana, and it describes one time Radharani was feeling separation from Krishna. So much deep separation. And suddenly from her lotus mouth came, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So then Krishna, he heard this from Radharani's lotus mouth. And then he thought, wow, this mantra is because one of Radharani's qualities that she is very merciful. That's one of her qualities. Now this mantra she has given should be given to the conditioned soul in the material world. So then Krishna approached Radharani and said, I have this desire. I have this desire to go to the material world and give this mantra out. And I will roll in the dirt of the earth, in the dirt of the earth. And Radharani says, no, you can't do that. I will cover you with my bodily luster. I will personally cover you with my bodily luster. And at the same time, you can take my spiritual emotions. So then sometime later, we know, Mahaprabhu appeared with the complexion and the mood of Srimati Radharani, covering Krishna's body, covering Krishna's color. And it is interesting that even though when Lord Chaitanya appeared in the mood, in one body, he's mainly Radharani, covered, he's mainly Radharani, covering Krishna. But in Gaura Leela, it is Radharani came separately, manifested separately manifested separately as Gada Pandit. So some people may ask, why is Lord Chaitanya, who's in Radharani and Krishna, and why is Radharani come separately? She came to she came to take part and witness and to also to fulfill her desire and Krishna's desire. So from this we can understand that Radharani is the source of the Maha Mantra. And Radha is because Radha and Krishna, because it says here, Radha Krishna Purna Shakti, Krishna Purna Shaktiman, Dayuv Astu Beda Nahu Sastra Pranam, Radha Krishna Atje Sada Aka Asarupa, Leela Vasavata Rupa. Shri Radha is the full power, and Lord Krishna is the possessor of the full power. The two are not different, as evident by the revealed scriptures. Thus Radha and Lord Krishna are one, yet they have taken two forms to enjoy the mellows of pastimes. Assuming the mood of Radharani and complexion of Radharani, Krishna appeared as Shri Krishna Chaitanya Gosai. Is Krishna, who is the son of Nanda Maharaj, the embodiment of rasas and amorous love personified. So then also in this is now what I'm going to read now is from two excerpts from two lectures. The first one is by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, an excerpt in 1931. Let that personification of the supreme magnanimity, Srimati Radharani, who is always eager to collect the mercy of the Supreme Lord on behalf of all living entities, appear in our hearts and make her presence known without submission to one whom Govinda considers to be everything to him. Savasva. We do not realize the meaning of the word. Sava, Govinda, Savasya. Sva means one, own, and Sva means wealth. I have the one who is Govinda, who is Govinda's own wealth, the one who makes him wealthy, that wealth, that everything to Govinda. If she becomes the object of our worship, then we will understand what worship is. If after reading the 18,000 verses of the Srimad Bhagavatam, we do not come to know about her, then our reading will be in vain. If by some unknown Sukriti we get the association of those who are close to Sri Vishwabhanu Nandini Srimati Radharani, if we are fortunate enough to hear about her, then we get some inspiration to proceed towards our supreme perfection, beneficial goal. She is everything to the son of Nanda, who is the reservoir of all pleasure, all ecstasy, and we never attain devotional service to Govinda without serving her and her servitors. So next one is Srila Prabhupada. So it must be Berry Place, London, 1969. We pray to Radharani because she is the pleasure potency of Krishna. Krishna means all attractive, but Radharani is so great that she attracts Krishna. Krishna is all attractive, and she is the attractor of Krishna. So what is the position of Srimati Radharani? We should try to understand this on this day and offer our obeisances to Radharani. Tapa kancharangi garangi radhe Vishabhanu vanuri Vishabhanu sutudevi pranam hari priye. I offer my respectful obeisances to Radharani, and whose bodily complexion is like molten gold, and who is the queen of Vrindavan. You are the daughter of King Vishabhanu. You are very, very dear to Lord Krishna. Our business is Radharani. I'm going to repeat this word. Our business is Radharani. You are so dear to Krishna. We offer our respectful obeisances unto you. Radharani is Hari Priya, very dear to Krishna. So if we approach Krishna through Radharani, through the mercy of Radharani, then it becomes very easy. Very easy. Very easy. If Radharani recommends this devotee, it is very nice. Then Krishna automatically accepts, however a fool I may be, because you are being recommended by Radharani. Krishna accepts. Therefore, Vrindavan, you'll find that all the devotees, they're chanting Radharani's name more than Krishna's. Wherever you go, you will find the devotees are addressing each other, Jai Radha. You will find in Vrindavan they are glorifying Radharani. They are more interested in worshipping Radharani, because, however fallen I may be, if some or other I can please Radharani, then it will be very easy for me to understand Krishna. So this is the position of Srimati Radharani. Without her mercy, we can't do anything, because she's the source of everything, because she's the... Even when Krishna... We know Krishna's he's the supreme thief. He steals the garments of the gopis while the young gopis while they're taking bath. He steals the butter, mutton, yogurt. He steals the hearts of all the residents of Vrindavan. But Srimati Radharani, he steals the heart of Krishna. She steals the heart. So Radharani is a better thief than Krishna, because she's the source of everything. Without her mercy, we cannot do anything. This is why Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur said, I'm sure Prabhupada said, no, this is her position. She is also supreme. And so therefore, because Mahaprabhu came, invented to give the Maha Mantra emanating from Srimati Radharani to everybody in the material world. So we also have to develop. We have to chant this mantra in the same mood of separation, because there's 4 categories of separation, if I can remember them. Purvarag, Man, Vitrapatrena, and pravas. So, Taruna Krishna, he was talking about this the other day in his class, when Krishna was sitting under a tree in the mood of the word he mentioned in his verse was pravas. So Krishna was feeling separation under a tree. But he wasn't feeling separation from himself. He was feeling separation from Radharani. How can Krishna feel separation from himself how can we feel separation we can't feel separation from ourselves, can we? All of us have got bodily, relatives, mothers, fathers, aunties, brothers and sisters. So sometimes we may feel separation from them, but how can we feel separation from ourselves? We can't. So we should, if we can come, as Ayindra said in one class, he said, if we can come to the platform of Purvarag. Purvarag means desperation for Krishna, for Radha and Krishna to come and serve them. Before meeting, this is before the meeting. Radha and Krishna, one's in Radharani's in Javat, Krishna's in Nandagram, and they're both feeling this purvarag. They're desiring association without seeing each other. So this should be the mood of our chanting the Maha Mantra, emanating from Radharani's lotus mouth. And this is what Mahaprabhu came to give. And was it? Yeah. Which one is that? Where has it gone to? Here it is, yeah. So Mahaprabhu, in one verse, Krishnadas Kaviraj, he just sums up in one verse the appearance and reason for Sri Chaitanya. Prema rasa narasa kalyate advadana ragmag bhakti loke kachate purpacharana rasaka sheka Krishna pranam karuna hehi hetu hera udama. Adi Leela 4:15 and 16. The Lord desired to appear, was born for two reasons. He wanted to taste the sweet essence of the mellows of love of God, and he wanted to propagate devotional service in the world on the platform of spontaneous attraction. Thus he is known as the supreme jubilant and is the most merciful to all. So this is the purpose of Mahaprabhu, to preach Marg, Raganuga Bhakti. It all says in here. What is it now? They had the gopis, they had the spontaneous love for the Lord. Now, it seems that this is a very, very, very high level to come to. But within us, I'm just repeating what I've heard from Ayindra Prabhu in his class, he said. But within us, we have the inclination for this Raganuga Bhakti, this Ragmarg Bhakti. We have the inclination. And she said, just as one has greed for material things, all we have to do is change our inclination from material to spiritual. That's all. And it is based on greed. That's the only qualification to come to this platform. Spiritual greed, nothing else. And the Acharyas say, Vaidhi Bhakti is included in Raganuga Bhakti. It's not separate. Vaidhi Bhakti is included in Raganuga Bhakti. First, we come to Vaidhi Bhakti platform. And then we progress according to our greed or lobha. We come to that platform according to our greed or lobha. This has to be there. So then it's up to us individually if we want to attain the supreme goal, as Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur says, to serve Srimati Radharani and her servitors, which are the Manjaris and the Gopis. This is the goal. And we preach through the Maha Mantra, which is given by Srimati Radharani, because she's also equally supreme, even more supreme in one sense. Because Krishna Krishna's a cowherd boy in Vrindavan, and he wants to serve Srimati Radharani. He wants to serve. So there's so many pastimes where he just wants to serve, and he's begging for service. So he's showing us, Krishna's showing how to surrender. He's showing us, practically showing us himself, Sarvadharma Vritpraja, Mamikam Savam Praja, Hamaranara Prabjo Moksha Manusacha. He's showing himself. He quotes this verse, but in Vrindavan, he is practically doing it himself. And the last class Keshava Maharaj gave the other Sunday, he said one sentence for me, which was the whole class. He said, even Radharani makes Krishna a devotee. So Radharani makes Krishna a devotee. How? Krishna comes as a devotee in the form of Lord Chaitanya, who came as a devotee, and come to show us how to serve. Because in his last years in Jagannath Puri, last 12 years, 18 years, he was just in the Gambhira, feeling deep separation, banging his head against the wall, and his limbs are going into his body and things like that. So Radharani made Krishna a devotee. So similarly, if we want to get Krishna, we have to worship Srimati Radharani, and we have to fill the same separation that the Radha Govinda are feeling. And this could be done by associating with a devotee who is on that level, who is on that platform. So this association is necessary. So I'll finish there, and I will try to answer questions. If not, if any.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. It says in the purport of Srila Prabhupada, he's saying the devotees, they never get involved or study monistic knowledge.
Yeah.
What is that?
That means impersonal knowledge. Yeah. Jnanis generally mean Mayavadis. Yeah. Because everything is one. But we follow the tattva of Abheda tattva. Everything is one, but simultaneously different.
Krishna Prabhu, thank you for your class. So in the purpose, Srila Prabhupada says that Maitreya Rishi was a mixed devotee. So how do we understand that why Vidura is taking information from him? Because we know that Uddhava didn't feel qualified because he felt that Maitreya Rishi was senior to him. He felt that Vidura was senior to him, so he didn't want to give him instructions. But at the same time, how do we understand that Vidura is taking instructions from Maitreya Rishi? Because usually we are told that we should hear from a pure devotee, and in the purport it is said that he's a mixed devotee.
Sometimes it's a question of etiquette, is there? Vaishnava etiquette. So it's like sometimes we hear from a devotee who's on the Madhyam platform. And if there's no Uttama devotee around, we have to hear from a devotee who's on the Madhyam platform. So this is Maitreya, he could have been on the level of Madhyam. And so therefore whatever he says is also bona fide. There's nothing wrong with what he says. Nothing wrong. But he's not advanced as Uttam. This is why Vidura is taking shelter from him. Because there's 3 different levels. As we know, there's Kanistha, Madhyam, and Uttama. But even then, there's 3 different levels of them. There's like Kanistha, Madhyam Kanistha, and Uttama Kanistha, and so on and so on. But that's more elaborate, which I can't understand yet. But so it said we have to sometimes it says, but Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Thakur, he used to say, one of his quotes, he said, it's important that we hear Hari Gita. No, sorry, it's very important that we hear Hari Gita. Then he says, but what is more important, who you hear it from. So Maitreya Rishi was, as it says here, he's a good devotee. So that's not, what he says probably, what he's writing is nothing wrong. He's just on that level, that's all. So it's okay. He's just, nothing wrong with hearing from Maitreya Rishi. That's why he was listening him, because he was speaking Hari Gita. Is that okay?
Yeah, so you're saying that when Srila Prabhupada says he's a mixed devotee, means that he's
mixed with awe and reverence, basically. He's not on the spontaneous platform.
Thank you so much.
Anything else? Okay. Sri Bhagavatam Ki Jai.